Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure and privilege to continue the topic of pragmatic leadership. And with these various videos that we have so far seen, we have nearly completed the first chapter, which is essentially the introduction to the concept of pragmatic leadership. If you would have viewed all the videos, you would have got a clear idea that what this subject of pragmatic leadership is all about. And I am sure by now you would have been encouraged to consider the possibility of buying the book and reading it. So nevertheless, the design of the book is such that once a particular chapter is completed, I have just given the summary so that people don't miss the opportunity of recapping that what they have learned in this particular chapter. So I titled this as a point to ponder. So points to ponder is the section that you will find at the end of the book, which summarizes the key points that we have learned in that book. So I would like to bring about this as we have completed the first section, which is essentially the introduction of the book. So one of the points that we have discussed is to become a pragmatic leader. So I have introduced the idea of what do you mean by a pragmatic leader, which is nothing but keep on observing the whole universe and the people around and everything in front of you, and then try to learn the concept of leadership, what it really means. And then instead of merely longing that by putting more number of years of experience, you will grow in the organization, be conscious that you've got a lot of responsibility to develop your leadership capabilities. So in other words, unlike the Western belief that leadership is nothing but the various behavioral models, so by adopting that model, probably we will become a leader. So the Oriental way of thinking is that you're born as a leader basically. Once you have become a human being, that you are already has got the potential to become a leader. But if you have not become one, that means you have not chosen to do it. So that means, as Abraham Lincoln has said, that if one human being can achieve something, every other human being can do it. So it is very important to appreciate that pragmatic leadership is nothing but a practical observation of certain requirements to lead people and then regularly develop those habits. That's what we have seen. Second point, we have seen what the roots of the leadership is all about. Essentially, a leader is a one who need to constantly look into his own emotions, and he has to check out what level of maturity he is, and also know that whether he is excessively focused on technical skills or people management skills, how to sharpen his conceptual skills, etc. So the purpose of the chapter on introduction is essentially to give you the roots of leadership, which is nothing but the potentials that you have and how you can use your potentials to sharpen certain kind of skill sets. Then subsequently we had a section on which we discussed what maturity has got anything to do with leadership. So when you say maturity, many people have got a different perception about maturity, that if you have a lot of grey hair, then you are a mature person. It need not necessarily. Maturity is a state of progress a person makes in his own being, rather than it's a result of aging. So we have gone into two different concepts of maturity, essentially the Stephen Covey's way of looking into maturity, and then the Daniel Goleman's way of looking into maturity in the form of emotional intelligence and so on. So this has given some idea that if you want to become a leader, then you cannot be a dependent person, you should become an interdependent person. You need to sharpen your capabilities in the emotional intelligent area. So that is what we have seen in the context of maturity. And then we also discussed the various quotients which are starting from IQ to EQ, then LQ, RQ, and SQ. So why we have learned all this is because these kind of competencies are only applicable for human beings. It is not applicable for an animal, because we need to be aware of our limitations on the IQ, which is essentially our ability to visualize things and learn things much faster. Then we looked at our emotional quotient, which is much more important for leadership. How to keep our emotions stable and focused so that we don't become a moody person on a very frequent basis. And we learned that learning quotient is very important. That is, you need to constantly look for new knowledges and new kind of emerging technologies and so on. And we have seen that we need to build a relationship, which is very important for the leader to focus on. And then finally we saw a spiritual quotient is coming from the character-centric way of running our own organization and then the group that are going to be part of our system. So this is what we have seen as far as the various quotients are concerned. And then we saw finally the skills of the leadership is totally generic in nature. It is not taught in the academic education. So that means leadership skills have to be understood, and then by practical means we need to learn them. It will become like going to the gym and practicing for your building your muscles. So building a muscle memory is what actually your physical exercise does. Whereas leadership competencies are nothing but emotional exercises and mental exercises by which you develop certain kind of a behavioral pattern with which you are able to progress your career. So finally we had a look at how the commitments contribute to the organizational growth and your well-being. Progressively the commitment comes down, then obviously your output also comes down. So it's extremely important to sustain your commitment. With the result, you will be able to be a contributor in your career throughout your life. So this is the summary of the chapter on the introduction. I'm sure this would have given you some kind of a picture of a pragmatic leadership concept at a 40,000 feet perspective. And then we will deep dive into every individual aspects in the coming sessions with you. I hope that these video sessions are useful to you for sharpening your competencies to move up in your corporate career or your entrepreneurship leadership. Thank you very much for your time, for listening, and look forward to see you in the future sessions with you. Take care.